acting like a wild man, sleeping like a child. You're so luminous and vibrant.
Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. Today's video is my Thanksgiving meal ideas and recipes video. I am so excited to be sharing this video with you today. We are starting off the video with this sparkling apple cider. It was so delicious and it honestly will be one of my favorites during the holiday seasons. They are so delicious, so all you will need is some apples. You can use whatever apples you would like. I like to use Honeycrisp or Gala apples. Those are my favorite, but you can use green apples, red apples, Honeycrisp, Gala, or any other kind of apple that you really do enjoy, but those are my top two favorites that I enjoy so much. And so I am going to start slicing up some apple slices for the drink, and then you are supposed to have some sparkling apple cider, but my store was all out of sparkling apple cider, so I did have to get the sparkling white grape cider, which was totally fine. I love the white grape, it is so delicious, but if you can, try to find the sparkling apple cider because that is what's supposed to be in this drink. Next, you will need to rim the top of the glass with some cinnamon. All you have to do is just wet the rim of the glass and then just dip it in some cinnamon powder, and then you can start filling up your glass with some ice and then apple slices, a cinnamon stick, and then your sparkling apple cider or sparkling white grape cider, whichever one you can get your hands on or whichever one you would prefer. But this drink is so delicious and it's so perfect for the holiday seasons. You can also add some whipped cream vodka in it or vanilla vodka, whatever kind of alcohol you want in this drink. Honestly, I would probably do vanilla or whipped cream vodka. That is so delicious, but you can use whatever you would like, and if you want it just how I made it with no alcohol, then you can do that as well. And you can also give this to the kids because there's no alcohol in it and the kids will love it so much. There's not too much sugar and it is perfect for a holiday drink.
Always in bloom, always in bloom for you. So many times I've stranded, a castaway on unknown shore. I
do also want to mention that I am hosting this Thanksgiving collaboration, so this video will be in a playlist with all these amazing women's videos as well. We are all participating in a Thanksgiving video in this playlist, and I really hope you enjoy it and get lots of inspiration from all of these amazing women's videos, including mine. But I really hope that you go down in the description and check out the playlist and enjoy everything that you see. But now we are going to move on to this butternut squash, sage, and hazelnut quiche. This video is also sponsored by Delling. Delling does have these quiche dishes and I will be using them. I will talk more about them as we go on in this video, but I did just want to hurry and mention that. But this butternut squash, sage, and hazelnut quiche is so delicious. I have never made a quiche before, and my mom has multiple times, and they are so delicious. But I am so happy and so proud that I made this quiche all by myself. My mom was not feeling too good on this day that I made all of these foods, and there was a lot of food to make, but I am so happy that I got to do it all by myself, and I'm very proud of myself for making everything. For this recipe, you will need some butter, heavy cream, whole milk, oil, a quiche dish, 4 eggs, hazelnuts, sage, feta, and all-purpose flour, and a butternut squash squash, of course. The recipe did call for 4 eggs and 1 yolk, so you will pretty much need 5 eggs. But that is just all of the ingredients, and I will have those all down in the description as well. So if you do want to remake any of these dishes and these meals for Thanksgiving or for Christmas or just for dinner one night or for breakfast, anything like that, I will have all the recipes with all the ingredients down in the description as well. Right now I am making the crust for the quiche dish, but anyways, I really hope that you enjoy this video. I will talk as things go by, but for the most of it I will want music, and so I really hope that you enjoy this. And also don't forget to go down in the description and check out all the other ladies videos in this Thanksgiving collaboration.
I'm always in bloom for you. Always in bloom. Always in bloom for you. An infatuated light.
So the crust did need to sit a bit in the fridge to cool down and thicken and harden. So while it was having its time in the fridge, I did want to hurry and start prepping all of the butternut squash and chopping it up and getting it ready so I can move on to finish the meal and the dish.
So hard to see.
And the recipe that I was following did just say to chop it up in cubes and then start like sizzling and cooking the sage so it could thicken and harden and turn a little bit crusty for the quiche to go on top. It was so delicious. I'm telling you, this was such a good quiche dish to make, and I'm not like the biggest fan of quiches, but it was so delicious.
From the moment we arrived, Cornelia, you are one who will survive. It don't mean a thing what shape or form that you're in. The place you're from, your wealth, or the color of your skin. When all you had burns to
I do also want to just say this. Everything was mixed around while I was cooking. I was doing 50 things at once, especially since I was doing all this by myself. I was throwing things in the oven and taking things out and moving on to a next dish and all this kind of stuff. So even though the video looks like that I'm only working on one dish at a time, I'm really not. It's just the power of editing to make it easier and not make everyone's minds all jumbled up, especially mine while I finish editing this. I did just put them into groups, so like the quiche, I just want to finish up, then I go on to the next dish and the next dish and the next dish. But in reality, I was actually doing all 5 dishes at the exact same time. I just wanted to let you guys know that because I am a real human. I'm not perfect, and so even though this video and like everything looks perfect, I really was not doing everything perfect. I was messing up and I was sweating and I was overwhelmed and exhausted. My feet hurt. So even though that this video looks like it's perfect and I'm like a perfectionist, I'm really not. I'm very real and I'm very raw, and I just want you to know that I mess up too. Like this butternut squash that you see right here, it was burnt. I did not make it perfect. It was burnt on the bottom because I'm not the best cook, but I still like to try and cook for you guys and also for my family and also for me because it just hypes me up. So I just did want to mention that. On to like the quiche filler, so I'm adding the eggs, the cream, the cheese, the seasonings, the sage, everything like that, and I will also be adding the butternut squash, but it did need to cool. That's why I put it in the freezer, because I didn't want to cook like the cheese and the egg, so I did have to cool that down. But this is just the filler for the quiche. Once I have the crust, which is cooking in the oven right now, I will pour all of this on there and then bake it all together, and then that's what makes the quiche. If you've never made one before, they are so delicious, and I would try to make one if you haven't, or just try one out. They're really easy to make and they are always super delicious, and they are just really good to have for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. They work for all of it because there's eggs in it and cheese, and you can make them savory or sweet, do whatever you would like, but they are really good. I really do recommend this quiche right here because it's perfect for autumn time. It is so delicious. Now that the crust is all cooked, I am going to put that filler in it and then top it off with the rest of the sage leaves that I did cook. or saute, whatever you want to say. And then I'm also going to put some hazelnuts on top, and that just adds to the effect. It makes it so pretty. I love how it looks, and it tasted so delicious with the butternut squash and the sage and the hazelnuts and then the seasonings. Like, there was nutmeg in this, and you would never think that, but it was so delicious. I really do recommend this one. But now I am going to throw it into the oven again so it can cook all the way. So now about Dulling's dishes and their ceramic dishes. They have so many to choose from. I did choose these quiche dishes, and it came with 2 of them, and they work so great to cook in. You can make pot pies or quiches or whatever else you want to make in them. They are so easy to cook with and so easy to clean as well. Even this quiche was stuck on it, but it was so easy to clean, and it looks brand new. I will have all the links down in the description if you are interested. Also, here is the finished quiche. It turned out amazing, and everyone loved it that I fed it to, even my son, who is such a picky eater. Next dish that I have for you is roasted veggies and chickpeas. You can never go wrong with vegetables for Thanksgiving or Christmas or just whenever. They are so delicious. So for this recipe, you will need some potatoes, sweet potatoes, onion, carrots, brown sugar, salt and pepper, rosemary, garlic, and garbanzo beans. You can use as many potatoes as you would like, how many onions or carrots or whatever. Do whatever you would like. Those are just like the top things that you need, like the main things that you will need, but you can add to it whatever you want to, like any spices or any other veggies, or you can do something rather than garbanzo beans. You can take out the garbanzo beans, but honestly, I think that the chickpeas, they made the dish. They were so delicious, and honestly, you can never go wrong with chickpeas. They are so delicious and so easy to make. So this dish was such an easy one to make. You just have to cook it for like about an hour on like 400, I believe, and they were so easy to make. I will for sure be remaking these, and honestly, you wouldn't even know that there's brown sugar in them, but it really does make a huge difference with how it tastes. It's so delicious.
You had me at hello, 'cause where you go is where I go. I don't need nobody else. I got you, and you got me too.
So with how I'm cutting the vegetables, I'm leaving them all pretty chunky. I'm not slicing them into small pieces. I'm leaving them pretty big, and with the onions, I'm not like making them super small. I'm just letting them be chunks of onions. It was so delicious and so easy. This one you can make whenever. It is such a good dinner, and again, so easy with all the vegetables. You really can't go wrong with just roasted vegetables and some chickpeas.
I wanna do what you want to. We can leave and run away someday, someday. I've been saving you. You save me too. Yeah, I need it. Don't you need me too? 'Cause I need you. Yeah, so call me anytime that you need a favor. Call me anytime I can come and sit in you. Oh, oh. Call me anytime that you need a friend, and call me anytime when you're at a tight end. You, I got you, and you got me too.
I do also want to say that all these dishes are vegetarian. They are not vegan, but they do not have meat in them or anything that contains to meat that would not be vegetarian. If you do want them to be vegan, of course you can make them vegan. With the quiche, they have vegan eggs. That's like the Just Eggs or something that they sell at stores. I do not buy that. I use regular eggs. I don't mind, but I know that they do have substitutions. So if if you need some different milk to use to make it vegan, you can use oat milk, soy milk, coconut milk, anything that you would like. I'm just letting you know that these are all vegetarian, not vegan, but you are always welcome to make them your way, add or take out stuff, do whatever you need to do to make them how you will eat them. I don't mind, and I know whoever made these recipes won't mind either. You do you, but I did just want to mention that.
What we do is what we do. I can take you anywhere, somewhere. We won't be scared. You will see me flying high. I'm staring into your blue eyes. We don't need nobody else.
Like I already said, the vegetables turned out amazing and they were so easy to make. This one would be a definite for Thanksgiving. I will for sure be making them again for Thanksgiving because they were so good. And here is the finished meal or side dish, so you can see it all finished, and it was so delicious. Again, all of these recipes will be down in the description.
And you got me too.
Now time for the third food item. This is maple cinnamon acorn squash, and they are cut into squash rings. So delicious. All you will need is an acorn squash, butter, cinnamon, and maple syrup, but I do recommend also using olive oil just down on the bottom of the pan sheet, because when I was pulling up the acorn squash after it baked, it all got stuck to the tin foil, and I had to like throw away like 3 pieces or 4 pieces, I don't remember, but I would have gotten so much more acorn squash if I would have used olive oil. But the recipe, I don't remember it calling for olive oil down at the bottom of the pan sheet, so I'm not really sure if it did or not and I just missed it, but I do recommend that. So if you do remake this, do that. And also, it is hard to slice and cut up this acorn squash. I don't know if I was just doing it a harder way than normal, but just another tip, it is really hard to cut the acorn squash. So if you are going to do it, it's better to just do it in half and make like 2 acorn squashes, and then you can have a whole half to yourself. Do whatever's better, but I did think the rings were really cute. After the acorn squash is cut up, all you have to do is put the butter and cinnamon mixture on top of the acorn squash, and then drench it with some maple syrup. You don't have to drench it, but just pour some maple syrup on it. It's so good. But right here is where I would recommend the olive oil, because again, mine got stuck, like those small little half pieces, those all got stuck on the bottom of the tin foil, and so I did just have to throw those away, which sucked. We still got some, which was so delicious. This one's such an easy meal to make, and it's so like autumn, so I love it so much and perfect for Thanksgiving. But I would just recommend putting some olive oil or some spray or butter on the bottom. Also, this video does have lots of cleaning motivation in it as well. Every single time I got done making one of the recipes and they were all in the oven, I did clean up multiple times. And now I am going to take off the acorn squash rings and put them on this beautiful white ceramic dish. And right here you can see that these ones just would not come off. They were so stuck to the bottom of the tin foil and they were just tearing into pieces.
I've been saving you, and you save me too. Yeah, I need it. Don't you need it too?
But now, finally, here is the finished acorn squash rings on a beautiful ceramic dish, ready to scarf up. They were so delicious and so easy to make. The only things, again, olive oil, and they are really hard to cut, but overall, they were so delicious.
You got me too.
Now it is time for the dessert, the last food item. This is a pumpkin pecan cobbler, just like a peach cobbler, but a pumpkin pecan cobbler. So delicious and perfect for autumn time. You will need cinnamon, nutmeg, allspice, brown sugar, regular sugar, whole milk, all-purpose flour, some pecans, vanilla, butter, salt, baking powder, and pumpkin. And the allspice, I used that, but it did call for cloves, but I think the allspice made it so much better. But that was so many ingredients. Most of these ingredients, though, you really should have around your house. You shouldn't have to buy too much. Everything that I had to buy for this video rounded up to $49, like pretty much exactly, not even hitting 50. So below $50. I just did not have like the walnuts, the pecans, the hazelnuts. There was no walnuts, just the hazelnuts and pecans, all the milks. We only have oat milk in our house, so I just had to get some of that stuff. Then the apples, the sparkling cider, stuff like that I just had to pick up. But everything else, like the flour, sugar, brown sugar, seasoning, spices, eggs, cheese, stuff like that, I had around the house, so everybody else should. If you don't, that's completely fine. I'm just saying that like everyone normally does have that kind of stuff. So these are really inexpensive dishes and meals. There's not too much that you have to buy. They are very affordable, especially if you are making all of these for Thanksgiving. It would be a smaller Thanksgiving, but very affordable. So just so you know. For this dish, I had to mix the powders with the powders, so like the dry stuff with dry stuff, and then liquid stuff with liquid stuff, and then I finally poured the liquid into all the dry powder, flour, baking stuff. And then I buttered up the dish so it would not stick to the dish, which it didn't call for that, but I did that just so it wouldn't stick to the bottom of the dish and we could eat it. And then I poured all of the pumpkin yummy goodness at the bottom of the dish and then just flattened it all out.
Feel lonely. I am finally home at last.
Next, to make the top of the yummy goodness pumpkin pecan cobbler, I need to mix brown sugar with some normal sugar and then like the spices like nutmeg, allspice, cinnamon, stuff like that. So I just mix it all around, throw some pecans in there, and then I topped off the pumpkin cobbler bottom side with all of that, and then I poured some hot water on the very top. It called for 1.5 cups of hot water, which I've never had that. When I make like peach cobbler, I never put hot water on top of it, so I don't know if it was only for this kind of cobbler, but it turned out great. It just was really weird because I've never done that before. If you've done that in one of the cobblers that you have made, let me know down in the comments if that's normal or if you've never heard of that before.
In the world I've been to, this is where my heart is. Oh, you know it's true. No matter where I go, I'm coming home to you.
Then lastly, I am going to throw it into the oven so it can bake. Everything needed to go into the oven so it could bake. and then I am going to start cleaning up all the messes. There was so many dishes and so much mess to clean up. I need to put stuff away since I was done cooking, because that was the last item, and then I just need to clean up the countertops and the dining table, all that mess. And then later that night, Andre did all the dishes for me, which was so helpful because I just did not want to do the dishes. I started cooking at like 9 o'clock and ended at 3, so it was a pretty long day for me, and I was just done. So it was really nice of him to do the dishes for me, especially because I cleaned up all the rest and I made all of this yummy goodness, and he got to enjoy it without doing anything. So I'm really happy that he did that for me.
Down the street so many times my feet know every brick and stone could wear a blindfold. No matter what I do, I'm coming home to you. And I don't know why, don't know why, don't know why I'm always feeling homesick. Oh, all I know, all I know, all I know is this is where my heart is. Oh, I have seen many places where the beauty never ends. Different cities, friendly faces, and perhaps I'm going back. But I don't have to be chasing every dream that I have. Oh, no. 'Cause the thing is, I've got more love here than I can bear. Ooh. Of all the magic places in the world I've been to, this is where my heart is. Oh, you know it's true. No matter where I go, I'm coming home to you. Been walking
Now I am laying out all of the yummy dishes and just kind of decorating around it with some Thanksgiving and Christmas decor, just to make it look really pretty and festive and like a holiday thing. Since this is a Thanksgiving video with all these meals and ideas and recipes in it, I did want to make it look really pretty, but I'm laying all of them out now, so now you can see everything together. It all looked so delicious, and it was so delicious. I was really proud of myself, and I still am. I did really good, and they all look really good, even though it's kind of messy. Like, don't mind how messy that dish was, but it was so good. I really do recommend all of these yummy dishes, especially if you want vegan or vegetarian meal ideas. Then here are some for you. I really hope that you enjoy them, but I will see you all again next time. Please don't forget to go down in the description and check out the Delling dish if you are interested in this quiche dish, and also my Thanksgiving collab playlist that I am hosting with all those amazing women down in the description. And there's just going to be multiple playlists with one that says Halloween, fall, and then this Thanksgiving one, and I will also be doing one in Christmas with more amazing women. So if you are interested in more of these collabs, then follow and subscribe to my Instagram, Our Little Bloom, and this channel, Our Little Bloom. I would love to have you, especially if you want to see more. Then there will always be more for you. So I really hope that you do subscribe to my channel, and again, follow my Instagram, Our Little Bloom. Don't forget to like this video as well. Always helps my videos and my channel. I will see you all again next time. Bye.
know every brick and stone could wear a blind